You've been in this storm for too goddamn long. You done got comfortable in this storm. You're preparing to spend the rest of your life in this storm. You thinking that this is where you just gonna have to be. You're settling for the storm. You done got comfortable in your pain. You done got comfortable allowing people to use you, allowing people to misuse you, allowing people to treat you how they want. You done got comfortable thinking that this is your life. You done got comfortable thinking that you're nothing. You've been in your storm for too long. You pitched a tent there. And then when you didn't get out in the time where you thought you got out, you started to build a house. You started to build your house brick by brick in the midst of your storm, not even knowing that God does not want you to stay there. Not knowing that that's not where you belong. Not knowing that you don't belong and to be broke. You don't belong around people that don't deserve you. You don't belong in poverty. You done got married to your heartbreak. You done got so used to it. You done got used to being hurt. You done got used to feeling broken. You done got used to walking around with no energy. You done got used to walking around feeling numb. You done got used to living in pain. You done got comfortable with your storm. I don't know who needs to hear this, but you was never supposed to get comfortable with your hurt, with your pain, with your trauma. You was never supposed to get comfortable there. You don't deserve that. You deserve to live a better life. But yeah, you made your bed inside of your pain, in the house of pain. When you are so much more than your storm. You are so much more than your struggle. You are so much more than your story. You may have to go through things, but don't you get it confused. You are not what you go through. Don't you get it confused. Don't you become your trauma. Yeah, you may have got hurt as a child. You may have got mentally abused, physically abused, or even sexually abused, but you are not that abuse. You are not. You may not be living in poverty now, but you are not. You were not created, designed, born to be broke. You may be hurting now. You may be confused now, but you are meant to spend a life in clarity. You are not meant to be hurting. But yeah, you got so used to it. You got so used to it. And the more use you got to it, the more you allowed it into your life. The more you allowed, just because one person hurt you, you made it okay for another person to hurt you because you didn't know how to stand up for yourself. But I'm here to tell you that you're not that child anymore. You don't have to take everything. You don't got to accept everybody's behaviors. You don't have to want to please everybody. Everybody ain't your cup of tea. Everybody ain't supposed to be in this storm with you. Everybody ain't supposed to fight with you. You don't gotta like everybody. You gotta love everybody. But you don't gotta like their ways. You cannot take care of everybody. You cannot please the world and please yourself at the same time. Not only that, you cannot please the world and please God. I don't know who needs to hear this. But you got so used to being hurt that you allow other people to hurt you. And you didn't even notice until you became so broken, so numb to the point where everybody in your life is hurting you. Everybody that you expected to love you and heal you is the ones hurting you. And you got used to being in your storm. You got used to being treated that way. You got used to being invisible, walked over like that, talked to like that, talked about like that. You got used to feeling down. I'm here to tell you, I don't know how long you've been walking around feeling unenergized. Every day you wake up and the coffee ain't doing it. The caffeine ain't doing it. Nothing can give you back your happiness. Nothing can give you back your peace. You just walking around ready, waiting to die. I don't know who needs to hear this, but you don't got to live life like that. You're too comfortable in your storm. Don't you focus on your storm. Not another day. You're too beautiful. You're too strong. You're too hard working. I don't care. I'm not talking about 9 to 5 hard working. I mean, you a go-getter. You a natural born go-getter. I mean, hardworking that you're going to make a way where there is no way, out of no way. You work harder than people that got these 9 to 5s. Some of you have a 9 to 5 right now, and you work harder than your co-workers. You see how people are lazy and they lack at work, but you when you even though you know that ain't even your company, you didn't even build that company. but you still go to work and you give it 110%. That should just let you know something. You should just already know that if I'm giving somebody else 110%, I need to invest this. I need to put this into myself. I need to get me out of the storm. You want to know why? Because you've been in this storm for too damn long. You've been in this storm for too many years. It's not okay anymore. It's not okay to live the life that you don't like anymore. It's not okay to be unhappy when you wake up. It's not okay. I don't know who needs to hear this, but it's not okay. You've been tricking your mind. You've been, all this time, you've been putting it off to the back of your mind, just going along with life. Truthfully, just pushing it to the back of your mind, and you're really unhappy. You're unhappy with how your life is going. You don't feel purpose in the thing that you're doing, in the job that you have, in the job, in the area of life that you should feel purpose. You're not happy. You want to know why? Because you got too comfortable with your storm. There was somewhere along the lines where you gave up on yourself. There was somewhere along the lines where you did not believe in yourself and you settled for less than who you are, than what you were called for. You want to know why it feels uncomfortable where you are? It's because you're not called to be there. It's because you're not supposed to be there. It's because your spirit, your body knows that you need to align with something better, with something greater. It's because you are understanding that this is not for you. And though I may be here, I am not my circumstances. Though I may be at this place and point in my life, I am not my circumstances. You are so much better than your pain, than the things you've been through since a child. You are so much better than your storm. But don't you allow this storm to overtake you. Don't you forget who you are. Do you not know that some people don't even find their purpose until they well over the age of 45? Don't you let age make you feel like you don't have enough time. You're running out of time. And if you're young and you watching this, don't you let age make you feel like you're not prepared enough, like you're not ready enough, like you're not wise enough. Because when you're a chosen one, your spirit, your heart, your soul always knows when something is wrong. You waking up every day and you just doing it to get by. You go to work, come home, go to sleep, eat, turn a little bit of TV, and your life is passing you by. Meanwhile, you live in the plans of somebody else's life that they have for you. And that's the devil. You out here living the devil plans for your life. And you not even knowing that every day you unhappy, every day you feel uncomfortable where you at, every day you feel like you're not living in your purpose, you living in the devil's plans, you ain't living in God alignment. The more you wake up and you know you ain't supposed to be here and you don't do nothing about it, is the more you pushing God's plans for your life away. And I don't mean to step on your toes, but your spirit knows that something needs to shift. Your spirit knows that something needs to change. Now, I ain't saying it's going to change in a blink of an eye. What I'm saying is, you can tell that you ain't supposed to be there just simply by your body, how you feel when you wake up. Are you happy? Or do you just automatically think about bills? Do you automatically think about the problems of life? Do you automatically think about things that has to get done? When you wake up, is there problems on your mind? Or do you wake up and you feel like you're in the right place? You feel like, see, sometimes you know you can do better, but when you headed towards that better, you can be grateful for where you at. But sometimes when you know you ain't doing nothing to get to that point, you realize that, hey, I'm getting too comfortable in my storm. I'm getting too committed to my storm. There's a difference, but by living in a storm and waking up every living day and fighting your way out of it. And then there's a difference by waking up in your storm and just living your life until you die, a life that you didn't see yourself living, a life that you know it doesn't feel right. You've been in this storm for too damn long. You've been unhappy for too damn long. You've been letting people in your life that don't deserve you for too long. Don't you forget your purpose. Don't you forget who you are. Don't you forget why you were created. You were created for a better, a bigger, a higher calling, a higher reason. Don't you settle. Don't you settle for nothing. Don't you settle for less. You don't have to settle. You do not, I want somebody who understands this. Where you are right now, if you don't feel like this is your life, if you don't feel like this is for you, you don't have to settle. Now, you may have to go through your storm. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. You may have to walk through the valley of the shadow of death. You may have to walk through a storm. You may have to walk through a few. We all got things we going through. But you don't have to live there. Some of you, you've made that your residency. You don't even plan on doing anything else with your life. You don't even plan on giving it another try. You don't even plan on starting the business. You don't even plan on looking buying the home. This is where you're settling right now because you feel like you cannot do it. You gave up on yourself. And your behavior will attract who you are. I don't know who needs to hear this, but you're not your storm. You're not your money issues. You're not just that one bedroom apartment. You're not just you're not just that $0 in your bank account and your savings account. You're not just that. You are called to do so much more. And right now you're at war with your mind, and you don't think that you can do better than where you are. You have to win this war with your mind. You have to know that you deserve better. Let me tell you something. If Oprah Winfrey didn't believe she could be Oprah Winfrey, she would never be Oprah Winfrey. Steve Harvey, if he didn't believe that he could be a multi-million-dollar comedian, he would never be that. He would never be a host to TV shows. I don't know who needs to hear this, but if Bill Gates didn't believe in himself, he wouldn't be worth almost $1 billion network. I don't know who needs to hear this, but you have to believe that you're better than who you are. And can I tell you something? Oprah Winfrey, do you realize that she was home? They grew up poor. Majority of the people that have the amount of money that they have, the amount of resources, the amount of followings, the majority of the people, the difference between between them and us is, you and me is, the difference between them and y'all, the difference between, let's just say, the rich and the poor, is that we gave up on ourselves somewhere along the line. But I'm here to tell you, to pick it back up, they started off at the same place we was. They started off with the same problems we faced. But they knew they would be something. They knew they had a greater purpose. They knew they had a greater future. They didn't let nobody take it away from them. They didn't let their storm determine how far they go in life. They didn't let their storm determine how far they succeed. They didn't become the thing that was trying to kill them. They didn't become the thing that was sent to break them. They rose over it. They got up again when things were hard. They started over again when they felt like they needed to. They moved, they shifted, they believed in themselves. They did all they had to do. They slept in their cars. You know, Steve Harvey was homeless to the point where he used to go fishing in rivers to find food. You know, one of the greatest motivational speakers of all time used to eat out of trash cans. And you thinking that your storm means that you're nothing in life. It's your behavior. It's your mindset. It's your strategies. Your storm is just letting you know that there's a reason why you're being attacked. Your future is too bright to let you succeed, to let the enemy allow you to succeed. He has to attack you. The bigger your storm is, the bigger your breakthrough, the bigger the blessing is, the bigger the calling over your life is. The bigger your storm is. You wonder why you got to go through so much, chosen ones. You wonder why you got to cry so much. You wonder why you got to feel alone so much. You have to have these lonely nights. You have to have these talks with yourself and God. You got to go on these walks where you got to get closer to God. You got to figure out who you are when everybody is trying to tear you down. You got to keep pushing. You wonder why you spend nights in the hospital by yourself. You wonder why you get sick and you're under attack and you under this and you under that and this happens and this got to get paid and this comes up against you and this storm comes and the wind blows and you don't feel good and you feel weak and you feel tired. You wonder why every day is a battle against your mind. Because the enemy wants to do everything he can do to stop you from getting to who you will be, to your future. He knows if you start that business, that multi-million-dollar business, so many other lives are going to get healed. So many other people are going to get saved just simply by you being in alignment, by you being in position, by you being who God called you to be. simply by that. You know that so many people, other people are going to be affected in a positive way. People that he was planning on killing off. People that he was planning on letting die in their pain. He know that you're the resource. He know that you're the source for somebody's healing. And if he allows you to get to your finish line, if he allows you to get to your future, if he allows your future to get brighter. See, the thing is, it's not about if you're blessed or not. Your blessing was already there when you were born. You were born with a blessing. You just got to get to it. And you've been too comfortable in your damn storm. You've been too comfortable letting people treat you the way they treat you. You've been too comfortable letting people talk to you how they talk to you. You don't even know that you're the most valuable asset. You are not a liability. Without you, everything will fall apart. You're the missing piece to many people's puzzles, to many people's suffering. You just got to get there. You got to realize that everybody had to start somewhere. Everybody had to start somewhere. And you ain't weak no more. You got a choice today. You're going to grind. You're going to go to the gym like you said you're going to go. You're going to start eating healthy. You're going to educate yourself on your credit. You're going to start the business. You're going to read the books. You're going to start writing the book. You're going to pick up the content creating, the YouTube channel. You're going to do that stuff, or are you going to allow this world to overtake you? You got somebody that's in position telling you what to do when you have the qualifications, when you have the anointing, when you have the talent to be running the business, to be over them, and they telling you what to do. You under their authority when it should be vice versa, when it should be flipped around, when it should be when they should be under your authority. You got somebody that's stronger than you, lift them more. You got somebody that you're stronger than, lifting more weights than you in the gym. That's what I'm trying to say. And the only way you're going to have to push through this is to get to the gym. You got to get to where you supposed to be. And your gym may be a library. I don't know who needs to hear this. Your gym may be the grocery aisle, the produce aisle. Stop going to the snack aisle. Your gym may be in your mind. Your gym may be your Bible. Your gym may be your computer table. Sit down, open the book, and sit down, open the notebook, and write the logo, create the logo for your business. That may be your gym. But I don't know who needs to hear this. You got some people that are lifting more weights than you, that are more blessed than you, that are making more money than you, and you can lift more weights than them. You're stronger than them. You should have been winning, but you got comfortable in your storm. You should have been ahead of them. And this ain't no competition. You don't see nobody, chosen ones. I'm not telling you to be in competition with nobody but the version you were yesterday. What I'm simply saying is that just like they could win, you're even more qualified. You're even more called. You're even more skilled. You're even more gifted. You have even more opportunity to win because you have God on your side. You got the Lord on your side. You just ain't getting to it. You just got too comfortable in your storm. You allowed your storm to let you tell you who you are. You allowed the doctors to let you tell you who you are and how long you got. And so you stopped your life. You stopped living. You stopped doing the things that make you happy. You stopped doing the things that you know you're supposed to do. You stopped taking your walks with Jesus. You living in a survival mode, in struggle. I'm not saying forget about your problems. I'm saying don't commit to them. I'm saying don't marry them. I'm saying burn down the house that you built in the storm and pitch your tent again and know that you're just here temporarily. You built the whole house when you was only supposed to go buy a tent from Walmart and pitch your tent there. And yeah, it's easier, it's more comfortable to sleep in a house in the storm than in a tent. A tent could get knocked over. A tent, soon as the wind blow, the tent getting pushed left and right. It's more comfortable to build a house in the storm than to sleep in a tent, but it's more permanent to build a house in the storm than to sleep in a tent. You hear me? What I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? Some of you built your house where a tent was supposed to be. You only supposed to be there temporarily, few months, 6 months, a year and a few months. 8 weeks, 8 months, 8 years, but yet you've been here 45 years. You built your tent. You built your house where your tent was supposed to be because you got comfortable with what you were given. You got comfortable with lack because you forgot your value. You forgot to use your crafts. You forgot to use your talents. You gave up on yourself too early. But I'm here to tell you to use everything you got in these last times, in these last couple of days. You better use everything you have. You better go back to the drawing board. You better start selling pies if you can make apple pies good. This holiday season, you better start asking God for ideas. You better start asking God for the strength to be who he says you should be. You better start asking God for a plan A. You better start asking God to take over your life. You better start using everything you got to get over this hurdle. Because when you realize that all it took was a little less of nothing, all it took was a little bit of opportunity, and now I'm here, you're going to look back and you're going to realize that I was the reason I delayed my life for so long because I didn't believe in me. All it took was a little bit of effort. All it took was me to cut everybody off for just 6 months, lock in with myself for 6 months, go to the gym 6 months. Now I got the body I wanted. Stop eating the way I want. Stop eating unhealthy for 6 months. Now my mind is locked in. Read the book. Go to the library. You understand the libraries in your town are free for everybody. You don't have to have a house in that town to go to a library. You could be sleeping in your car and go to the library and read about business and read on books about credit. You have to push yourself with everything you can. You have to use everything you got. Whether that everything you got is government assistance, whether you barely got anything, you have to push yourself. I don't know how many times I had to do that. I could sit here and run through stories where you wouldn't believe how you turned this into this because I didn't have another option. But when you hungry enough, you gonna keep feeding that dream. You gotta be hungry enough to multiply what God gives you. You have to be hungry enough to go after the dream. You have to be hungry enough to say, I don't care what comes my way. I'm gonna use everything I got. I don't care if I got a toenail and a half a loaf of bread left. I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna use everything I got. I don't care if I got an iPhone 16 or 6, 4. I'm gonna use everything I got. You have to be hungry enough to feed that dream. And when you don't see the results, you still have to be determined enough. You have to have a why. Your why should simply be because I don't never want to live like this again. I told myself this is going to be the last time I ever live like this. This was one of the hardest summers of my entire life. Mentally, physically, financially. I told myself that by this time next year, I don't know who needs to hear this, but by this time next year, you cannot be the same person you were this year. You cannot be going through the same things. Every winter, the lights are about to get shut off. Every summer, you brokenhearted. Every summer, you got to stop. See, you have to realize the things you go through in the seasons. Every spring, you getting evicted. You got to understand something. You got to realize what's attacking you, and you got to tell yourself, I am never going to be here again. And then you got to use all your natural born gifts, talents, signs, and wonders, everything that God gave you to get yourself out of that situation. Because guess what? God is working for you. He's covering you. And he will save you eternally. But you're going to be the reason why you get through this. You can't put this all on God. Sometimes God gave you everything you need, and you just ain't using it. You can't blame God for where you are. You decided to give up on yourself. God gave you the voice. God gave you the idea. God gave you the platform. God gave you the mission. You can't blame God. The only thing you could do is thank God that he kept you alive even when you went off path. You just thank God that he reminded you again that you can still do it, that you are exactly who he says you are. I love you guys. You want to donate to Tide and to the ministry, to send a link to donate to Tide. There will be a link in the descriptions down below, guys. All you got to do is go to the link down below, click the link. I love y'all. Peace.